Welcome to Health Coach for Women, a podcast where we explore alternative and holistic solutions to better health and wellness through intentional living. Now, here's your host, Marsha Roopchand-Walker.
Welcome back. Thank you again for joining me on another episode here at Health Coach for Women. Do you have confidence? Do you lack confidence? How do you feel about yourself as far as like when you're at work and you have to do a presentation or at school or just confidence overall? That's what we'll be talking about today. So before we get started, hit that like button, share, and subscribe. And of course, I always have a quote for you. So your success will be determined by your own confidence and fortitude. And that's by the former First Lady, Michelle Obama. I like that. So we actually determine our own success, right? Based on our own beliefs, the things that we believe, as well as the actions and things that we need to do to acquire what it is that we are trying to achieve, right? So, confidence, let's define that. What is it, right? It can be looked at as having a strong belief, right? And trusting yourself. And even if you are not fully confident, but the ability to exude confidence, right, still matters, right? So we need to, and I always bring this up, right? I always talk about when I first started out, how I would do a gazillion videos, right? Just to get one simple video that was probably less than 2 minutes long. Okay. When I was trying to do videos to run my ads. Even though I haven't ran ads in a while, it's been a while. I'm not really focusing on that right now because I'm doing some other things. So even now, if I had to do it, I'm always, I can have a script and I'm not as bad as I used to, but it's not perfect. And that's okay. The goal is doing what you have to do, right? Doing what you have to do. So again, you have to have the confidence in yourself, and it shows, right? You can tell when someone lacks confidence in themselves, right? Maybe their head is down, maybe they avoid being the center of attention, and it could be for various reasons, right? Maybe in class, maybe they don't raise their hand in school, or maybe at work in a team or group discussion, they're the ones that's very quiet, don't have anything to say, um, you know, and it can stem from different things. It can stem from fear, right? It can stem from fear, which can give you the lack of confidence. It can stem from maybe some type of past experience. So it can be a number of things. And also body language. Body language will show that as well, right? When someone lacks confidence, right? I talked about a person maybe walking with their head down or having their head down, averting their eyes, maybe not really looking at you straight in the eyes when talking, something like that. So we have to do the inner work, right? We have to do the inner work. And part of the inner work is becoming more self-aware, right? And today I'm just letting you guys know that today I'm not working on a full script, right? I just put something out there and I was like, I want to talk about this, right? So I may go off here and there. I'm not following my script today, right? But we have to work on self-awareness, right? And so we have to do the inner work with ourselves and learning how to be self-aware, learning how to as well as self-acceptance, right? And laying the foundations on that. So how can we become more self-aware, right? Practicing mindfulness, right? Being mindful of your thoughts and actions, being mindful of your presence, being mindful of the way you walk into a room, being mindful of your appearance, right? So when we focus more on mindfulness, it helps us to become more aware, becoming self-aware. And so that we can then reflect. I love to reflect. Take time to reflect on the things that we need to do to improve ourselves and build the confidence. Now, there could be some deeper things, some deeper inner healing work that needs to be done, right? Due to maybe, again, trauma or something like that, some deep inner healing that needs to be done, right? And that's something where you may need to have additional support and help with that, maybe a therapist, a counselor, some type of mentor or coach to help you along your journey when it comes to that. But the inner work needs to be done, and it needs to be acknowledged, right? And having that self acceptance, okay, having that self acceptance, and having that self acceptance is self love, right? And that's important because a lot of times what happens is people are lacking confidence because they don't fully trust themselves. They doubt themselves. It's just like when an example, when taking a test, right? You're second guessing the answer, right? But your first intuition, your first thought was maybe choice A, but now you're overthinking and you're looking at option B and C. Even though you already read the answers as well as the question, you're overthinking. Oh, but it could be this, but it could be that. Sometimes we have to follow our intuition, right? And learning how to trust ourselves, learning how to be okay with things not being perfect, right? Remember, I talk about things. Uh, Perfection is an illusion. And sometimes you have people that's waiting to do something or waiting to create or build something or start something, start a new business, career, whatever, because they're waiting for the perfect time, right? And 20 years later, they're still waiting on the perfect time. So is that procrastination? What is that? Right? When people do that, like they're waiting on the perfect time, the perfect opportunity, and time just goes by and it never comes. Right. So that could be due to fear, right? Lack of confidence. We may talk about something, but we never follow through. Right. We need to be able to overcome that self-doubt and fear. And the only way to do that is to just do it. The only way to do that is and to overcome your fear of speaking in public or your fear of whatever, learning new things, is to actually do the opposite of what you're feeling, is to just actually do it, right? And eliminate negative self-talk, right? Eliminate negative self-talk. All right, stop saying that you can't do this and you're not going to be able to do this and you won't be able to do this. Oh, no one's ever going to listen to this or think this is a good idea. How will you know unless you actually do it? So you have to get your feet wet, roll your sleeves up, get your hands dirty. You got to jump right in, right? You got to jump right in and just do it. There is no perfect time, okay? It doesn't have to be perfect when you first do something. Listen, today, even to this day, I don't always have things perfect and absolutely correct all the time. Sometimes there's maybe a glitch with my computer or the internet may act up, something like that. And maybe my editor may have missed something, or maybe I may have failed to tell him something for him to do. So it's not always perfect. And that's the part that I love is about being human because again, I personally am not striving for perfection. I'm striving to be better, right? Greater, better, do better each time, every time when I can, right? Now with certain things we know, like, certain things has to be at a certain level, at a certain standard, right? We know that for the most part. Um, but I'm saying basically overall, not judging ourselves so harshly and eliminating this negative talk and replacing that with more positive words. That's why people talk about writing, having the affirmation journal, doing affirmations, right? Um, Being mindful, paying attention to the things that we say to ourselves. Okay. I want to tap on now body language, right? When you walk, do you walk with your shoulders up, or do you slouch down when you walk? Is your head down? What's your posture? Because your body language says a lot. And if I'm having a conversation with you and I'm like this and my arms is folded and I'm looking away, what is that going to tell you, right? That maybe I'm not really interested in what you're saying, right? Or maybe I'm on an interview, right? Maybe I'm going to just use myself. Maybe I'm on this interview, right? And I'm there with, I don't know, three corporate wigs or whatever, and they all sitting there asking me questions. Now I'm nervous, right? This didn't happen in real life, but I'm just saying, I'm just using myself as an example. Now I'm nervous. I'm feeling awkward. I'm afraid of what type of questions are they going to ask? How will I respond? Right. And there's tools and things out there to teach you all of that when you're not really ready or when a question is being proposed to you, let's just say on an interview, and you're not really fully prepared. Don't blurt out anything. Take time to think about that. And which makes it more natural is, you know what? Don't be afraid to say, you know what? That's a very good question. I need to think about that. You know, like people respect honesty, people respect authenticity, you being your authentic self and just being totally honest and say, you know what, I need to think about that. That's a very good question. Can I circle back to that? Can I come back to that? Or something like that. So again, body language says a lot, right? How we sit, how we stand, how we walk. We have to exude confidence in our posture, also in our tone. Also in our tone. If I'm talking to you like this in a soft voice, very quietly, not eyes down, and I'm trying to get you to buy something from me, will you be convinced? Will you be convinced by the person who's trying to sell you something with their head down and low voice? I'd like to show you this phone, this iPhone. It does a lot, right? Or instead of faking it till you make it, right? Hey, this iPhone, whatever, I don't even know what the latest iPhone is. This is an iPhone, I think 11 or 12, right? And I have no need or desire to upgrade it. When it falls apart and breaks, then maybe I'll get a new one. But again, this iPhone, hey, it does this, it has this capability, it is able to do this. It's the right size to fit whatever, especially for women. And it also comes with a free case with glitter. Okay. So I'm just using it as an example and having fun with it. Like you're going to want to show that you have this confidence and you want someone to believe what you're saying, right? You want to display that.
If you are struggling with health issues like chronic pain, being held back by past traumas, or feeling overwhelmed and hopeless, please know there is hope. There is help. Transcendence, a woman's guide to healing and self-love for better health, happiness, and abundance, is a blueprint to help you get your life back and reclaim your health. Within its pages, you'll learn how to elevate your existence by shifting your mindset toward the positive, focusing your energy on what's really important, using gratitude to feel deep appreciation, changing your gene expression through epigenetics, building resilience, and living in a state of flow. Feeling love overflow within. Go beyond an ordinary life. Transcend. Buy it now.
And so you have to have that. You have to have that in order to gain the things that you want or you desire, right? And there's some things that you can do that'll help you with that. There's some things that you can do to help you overcome the fear and overcome that self-doubt. And I already talked about some of those things, right? Eliminating negative self-talk, being more mindful, practicing mindfulness, right? Maybe you can journal and write a letter to yourself and then write to yourself, why do you feel this way? What happens when you speak in public? What causes me to do whatever? What can I do instead or that I can probably focus on that would make me feel more confident? Okay. And some things is affirmations, right? Some daily habits. They're daily things that you can do that are simple. Affirmations, right? Affirmations that you speak out loud to yourself, right? Visualization, right? Doing some visualization techniques, okay? Of visualizing you standing in a room, confident, shoulders up, presentable, ready to speak and share to your audience, right? Self-care. Let's talk about self-care. How are we taking care of our own self-care, right? Practicing self-care, which includes what? Our own mental capabilities, right? Our own mental stressors. How are we dealing with stress? How are we dealing with being under pressure, feeling stressed under pressure, maybe sitting in a room of 4 corporate wigs ready to decide your fate if you're going to get this job or not, right? Making sure that you are doing what you need to do for yourself as far as your mental health, right? Are you setting boundaries? Are you setting boundaries with maybe family or friends or at work in a professional atmosphere? Setting boundaries on the things that you can do and the things that you're not willing to compromise, right? And you have to be confident and be able and willing to stand in your belief in what you believe, right? Stand firm in your belief in what you believe, right? Some things are not negotiable. Now, can you compromise here and there at some time? Yes, right? Some things is a compromise. But when it comes to your health, if it's going to negatively impact your health, then I would say no, right? I would say no. And another thing is making sure that we get proper sleep. Some people are, doing a whole lot, got a lot going on, right? Working, going to school, trying to do something else. Maybe you want to start your side hustle. Maybe you're working on writing your book, whatever it is. Okay, whatever it is, you have things going on. We need to make sure that we are prioritizing sleep, prioritizing self-care, forgetting to eat, right? And also not forgetting to go to the bathroom. Okay. Like especially when you're at work and you're busy doing so much and you forget to go to the bathroom, right? Just doing the things that we need to do to take care of ourselves and making sure that we are a priority. We're taking care of ourselves because our health, our self-care, and mental health matters. Period. End of story. And if you're in healthcare and you take care of other people, your patients, your residents, they matter, but so do you. And it's important because what happens is, and that's why you see this so much in healthcare, you see that people are just burnt out, stressed out, burnt out, or overwhelmed. It's just too much. And they just don't want to do it anymore. Okay. So we have to do that. We need to be able to not have self-doubt, right? You have to have that unshakable confidence, right? that unshakable confidence so that you can truly unlock your potential. There is so much that's inside of you. And especially, and I say this, especially when you are stressed, especially when you are holding things back, maybe your thoughts and ideas, or maybe certain things you may not agree with, whatever. And this could be work or personal or whatever that you could be holding in, and it's not helping, right? You think that it's helping, but it's not. It's going to be manifested in some other way. And so that's why I said you have to build that unshakable confidence, and you have to practice that self care. Again, doing the things you do. Now, listen, I'll say this: confidence is not something that you're born with, right? It's something that it's a skill that you have to develop over time. And have to be overcome certain things such as the self-doubt, the fear, and shift your mindset. That's why mindset training is so important. A lot of people and a lot of even in some jobs and things like that, they do mindset training, right? The mindfulness and mindset training, because you have to change the way you think. Change the way you think, and you can change your perception and your view, your whole outlook. Your act will manifest into something different. All right. And you have to be able to handle setbacks without losing focus. That's why it's important to do your mindset. You can do your own mindset training. And a part of that is which I already mentioned, which is your affirmations, journaling. I enjoy journaling, your visualization, right? This is all part of mindset training. All right. Practicing the role of gratitude, okay, and resilience helps develop mental strength. So practicing the role of gratitude, right? Being grateful for everything, the present moment, right? Being present, taking time to enjoy the simple things, the little things in life. And how you handle certain situations will determine certain other areas of your life and how they will turn out. So I just wanted to talk about that because it's so important that sometimes we lose our confidence, right? That happens too. Sometimes we can lose our confidence, right? Maybe you've been working on a project and you've been so happy and you've been working on something for so long, and then it doesn't turn out the way you wanted it to. It didn't turn out the way you expected, right? It turned out something totally different. Like you had something you were working on and you thought it was going to have this result, and it turned out to be absolutely a flop, right? It happens. It has happened to the great of the greats, right? Um, Oprah Winfrey, I think what was her movie? One of those movies, was it the first one? I can't remember, whichever one it was, or Beloved or something, like something she worked so hard on, and the success from it, the first go around, it wasn't as successful. It happens, right? It happens. We don't beat ourselves up, right? Okay, we may do that temporarily for the first few minutes or so, right? But we don't want to dwell and sit in that. What we want to do is, okay, what could I do to make it better? What is it? And start looking and looking at things. Like, well, what can I do to make it better? What could I have done differently? Okay, whether it's on the interview or whatever, what can I do? Maybe I did I don't know, maybe I did an ad or something and it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, right? And you start looking at it. What are you answering the question? Am I getting and speaking to the people and speaking to them on their level? These are things you have to ask yourself. So people who are in business and do these videos, and as you already know what I mean, right? And so you have to do that. I went through that as well, right? But you don't beat yourself up, right? You don't beat yourself up. You do better the next time. And it's only practice. Practice doesn't make perfect, but it makes improvement, and it makes for uh, better uh, better chances of success. I'll say that. All right, so that is all I had for you today. I'm still debating whether I want to go on pause, a little sabbatical for about a month. I'm still debating. A part of me really want to still keep going. But at the same time, I'm like, some things I need to make some decisions on, right? And another thing, let me talk about decision making. Certain things you have to really look at what you have, what you got going on, and make certain choices in your life. Maybe that'll be another topic I could talk about next week, right? And decide what will be the best option, what is the best outcome for you that's going to work for you as well as your loved ones and the people you are around, right? So I don't know. I still want to keep going. This is when I say I take a break, it's only a break. It's not something permanent, because down the road, there's so many things that I want to do. And I'm like, man, I don't know if I'm going to even be finished all the things that I like to do in this lifetime. I don't know. Right. But me, I'm someone who loves to learn. I love sharing with others. And just this is what I enjoy. And I enjoy working with people. I enjoy being a team player. And I think that's important, right? So you have to know your own values, right? Your own values, morals, and beliefs. And I say all of this to say that I don't know if I'm going to do another episode, but I probably will. I probably will. So because I'm saying I probably will, more than likely I will. Okay. But I may need to cut back. All right. Because I'm doing a lot. I have some different things that I've been doing. And so remember, we can't do it all, right? And this is to myself too. We can't do it all. Some things need to be delegated, and some things may need to be put on hold. But some things we know are imperative and that we know that we must do, right? The things that's a priority. All right. So I hope you gained something from this episode. I really like to do something more. I'm thinking I've been having some ideas and thinking about things I like to do when the weather gets a little better. And I like to do something different. I wanted to cover a topic on, this is just a sidebar. I wanted to cover something on spas, right? But I thought it would be great to actually go out and interview, right? And meet with some people, spa owners, right? But that's going to take a lot. Is scheduling, is making when is the right time to meet with them. So that's something that I would like to do. But at this point in time, I'm really not able to do that because of my own time schedule. So I just thought I should put it out there, but it's something that I like to do later on down the line. And start doing some topics and out in the public, being out on the street, being out there. So I'd share that. I know you probably say, oh, you always say that you don't want to talk about this yet, just yet. But those are some of the things, right? Those are some of the things. And I'll save some of the other good stuff, the really, really good stuff for later. Like really, when I actually completed it, and I could say, surprise, right? So look, that's all I have for you for now. Listen, be confident, be brave, lose the self-doubt, forget about it. Just do it. All right? Hey, if you like this podcast episode, hit that like button, share, and subscribe. Hey, stay healthy. Hopefully flu season and all of that crazy stuff that's been going on is over. Right? Stay healthy, stay well, stay hydrated. Until next time, bye for now.
Thanks so much for tuning in to this episode of Health Coach for Women with Marsha Roopchand-Walker. If you've enjoyed this episode, please feel free to rate, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. That helps others find the show, and we greatly appreciate it. Once again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next episode.